Hey team, this is Eddie Gray. Welcome back to Logic Pro Training. While there's no particular order to watch this series, I do feel this is probably one of the videos that you should watch first or second. And that's simply because we're covering what I consider to be the heartbeat of the program. As mentioned, the Logic Pro Power User consists of this very workflow. Select an event. In this case, we're talking about regions, MIDI events. This could include audio, MIDI, drummer, or pattern regions. After that, you want to perform the action. This can be a kind of selection, a main menu bar, a keyboard modification, a keyboard combination, or a kind of key command. We can utilize snap to move regions with the mouse or the trackpad, and we can utilize nudge to move regions events by means of a key command. Again, we'll get into these details in a bit here. And if you start to utilize this very simple process, your productivity will improve tenfold. So before we get into this discussion, this is a part of navigation and transport. I just want to be clear what we're covering so you can better understand the program as a whole. To better understand snap to grid, we have to contextualize what that actually means and how it relates to music as a whole. So in life, we measure life by creating a system. Think feet, inches, kilometers, depending on where you live. The way that we measure music is a universal language called the musical time. And in Logic, we have the musical time ruler, which allows us to visually see how music breaks down. Of course, this relates to the BPM. How fast or how slow it is will influence the way that it looks on your screen. While we measure life in inches and centimeters, in music, we use bars, beats, divisions, and ticks. Even though this may not be something that you specialize in or you are particularly interested, it's still something that you have to learn. And if you do, you will be better because of it. So let's look at this a little bit further. Okay, so something that we need to understand from the get-go. We're going to have to crunch some numbers. Here's the computation. We have bars, beats, divisions, ticks. There are 4 beats in one bar. You can see that I do have a bar here, right? That's bar 1. This is bar 2, bar 3, and bar 4. Now, inside of every individual bar, there are 4 beats. So this is bar 1, and this is beat 1. Right next to that, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, and then the cycle continues over again. If I subdivide that, you can see that there are 16 divisions in one bar. So essentially, from bar 1 to bar 2, we can use 16 divisions in the same way that we can use inches to measure and feet to measure, where there are 16 divisions inside of one bar. Now, the most amazing thing about that is in between each and every one of those divisions, we have 240 ticks. Look at the screen here. This is going to break it down a little bit further. The numbers that have circles around them are the bars. The triangles are the individual beats. And the divisions are at the bottom there. There are 16 divisions inside of one individual bar. And inside of every division, in between every single one of those small boxes that you see with the number 16, there are 240 ticks. Let me give you a real world example here. If I resize this using bars, this is going to go from bar 1 to bar 2, as you can see here. Then if I extend it out, it'll go to bar 3 and then finally bar 4. So I'm going to resize this. My snap to grid is set to bar. More on this later. I'm going to hover over the region, the bottom right or the bottom left, and I will resize this. And now, because I am resizing per bar, I am extending this out to bar 3, bar 4. Okay. If I then change that unit of measurement to beats, I am now looking at the individual beats. In this case, beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. And then the cycle starts over again over at bar 2. So let's look at this a little further. I will resize this. Beat 1, beat 2, moved on to beat 3, moving on to beat 4, and then we complete that cycle. So I am on bar 2, beat 1. Let's go bar 2, beat 2, bar 2, beat 3, and bar 2, beat 4. All right, let's take this one step further. If I use division, the math gets a little bit more fine-tuned. Let's do the math together. So here's division 1, 2. And look at the help tag as I extend it out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 divisions equal 1 bar. As you might have noticed, 4 divisions, 1, 2, 3, 4 equal 1 beat. And so you can see how this is very much mathematically relevant. I'm not saying that you have to be a star student in algebra or geometry. All I'm saying is that you have to familiarize yourself with it if you really want to grasp the concept. And so if I now break it down and I move to the smallest unit of measurement, which is ticks, you can see, especially if we use the help tag, if I click and hold on a region, you can see that I am kind of being led and I have a little bit more information here. And so if I extend this out, right, you can see the number at the far right, that's ticks. Now I'm at 37, 38. If I stretch this out further, let's see, I'm at 192, 200. Finally, when we get to 231, let me see if I can extend this out a little bit further. Sorry, slip of the hand there. 238, 39, and 240 ticks equals 1 division. I need you to spend some time doing this so you can really integrate it. This may be new to some of you. This may be child's play for some of you. Regardless of where you are, this is happening on a region level, but this is also happening on an event level, a MIDI event level. We can also then shift to bar and control this per the bar measurement. We can also use beats. And so as soon as you grasp this concept and you understand how to move around, I'm not saying that you even have to completely integrate it. It's just you have to understand that this is the way we measure music. This is the way we measure our regions, and this is the way that we measure our MIDI event selections. So I need you to have a really good grasp on it. Go ahead and take your time, play with the units of measurement, understand where bars hit, where beats hit, where divisions come into play, and then finally understand that 240 ticks equates to 1 division. Okay, team, keep pushing the envelope, and I'll see you in the next video.